then they will come around and get a checkered flag. We'll give the speeds, these count. This is how you earn points. It is the fastest lap of the 3 that gets recorded. So they're going to come out of the pits, come around, we're going to go green, green, white, checker.
Yes, go ahead.
We'll have 3 laps, we'll record them, and we'll keep our best eye as we can on who has turned in the fastest time. I think we're only going to go through the ladder one time. So we're only going to get one run at this.
All right. Our order just went out the door. The 440 is coming out.
100 points. Those count toward the total toward getting in the final heat on Sunday, tomorrow, and they also look for the national points, so they are worth fighting for. When you consider the national championship last year was decided by less than 250 points, these are very important. The order we are going to come out is going to be the inverse order of our national high points. So the Gadsden, Alabama guys from Rainbow City, who didn't run last year, clearly, they got the least amount of points because they didn't race. They will be first up. So that's how we'll do it. Our national high point champion last year was the U1 Home Street, so they will be the last boat that will come out. And we're going to run through it one time. So we'll do our best. We're reading lists up here and using sign language to get the speeds, but we'll get them for you. So again, we are ready to really start the actual competition portion of the 2018 Hydrofest, the race for the Southern Cup. Away from the dock, Cal Phipps, the U27. He will come first because he did not get any points last year.
That's a 440.
I got it. So we got to change already. We thought we had the proper order, but we don't. It's Dustin Eccles driving the 440. Bucket List Racing. He will come down off the top end of the race course. We'll put him on the clock. Again, we're looking for the fastest lap of 3 around the race course. This is the smaller hydroplane, a little bit smaller boat. It was built originally for a different class. If he could lay down a buck 45, this would be one of the happiest people in all of Alabama. Finally, we got some competition going here. We'll see what young Mr. Eccles can pull off. He is from Sultan, Washington, up in the North Cascades. Owns a Mack truck repair dealership. This boat, to say it has been a project, that would really be selling it short. They have worked so hard to get this boat in position where it can run legally in the H1 Unlimited class. And right now, it looks very nice and strong. The smaller boat, Gus Eccles, became a qualifying driver for the first time in 2017. This is year number 2.
He's on the race course.
Take your time off the course.
Yeah. He just went off the race course.
He went off the course. He's out. Wow. He's outside.
Dustin missed the entrance pin at the top end.
Where's he going?
No, he was off the course.
Dustin, for those who can't see it, the boat is still under power.
Reverse.
But he clearly got on the wrong side of the entrance pin. So he had his start procedure or his line through the corner all messed up, which was therefore how he ended up out as wide as he did. And I would expect they're going to send Mr. Eccles back to the dock. Which is the case. Not by design to miss that buoy, for sure, but he wound up outside an insurance marker at the top end of the course. That's not a good thing.
Okay, Ted, Doug. Yeah, he's
So we should have boats in the water, ready to go. They are talking to the pit boss, Ted Grange, down in the pit.
Outside the white. He was inside that.
16 laps, just short of 150. So watch for Tom to come down, put his foot in it, get a good heavy charge to the line. It is book number 11. It is Tom Thompson, and he is shooting for and will get the successful. Now, when he's qualifying like this, he can run anywhere on the race course he wants. He can run an inside lane, an outside lane. It is his choice. We go racing, that all gets a little bit different. But right now, he is the only boat on the water. He can run anywhere he wants to go, wherever he thinks it's fast enough. Now, when you see the boat running like that, you see a booster tail coming off the back. It's low, it's lean, it's long. That's when he's got it up and running. And the front end of the boat is staying solid on the water, just dancing on the top. We got a little 3 or 4 inch chop out there, which is what they like. There's that big wall of water that comes off that skid pin. He comes down here to complete the stop track. It looks like he will do this again, especially a Guntersville qualification run. .306. 148.306. And that, I'll let somebody tell me, but that, oh, he's down there, isn't he? He's down. The boat did not sound right when it came off the upper turn. But we have our first successful qualification attempt. You can run 3 laps. We take the fastest of the 3. If you only run 1, that's the one we'll take. But it was a solid lap. But it just didn't sound right when he came off the corner. I thought we were hearing a different motor or something from an airplane.
What's up? Hold there until I hopefully we're going to get back to you.
is U9, driven by Andrew Tate out of Walnut Lake, Michigan. All right, so Andrew will come up to the top end of the race course. He will come down and we'll put him on the clock. This, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but just make sure you know just exactly who this guy is. This was won 2 races last year. He was second in national high points by about 225, 230 points. For the home stretch, he will come off the top end of the race course, come down any line he wants. He can go anywhere he wants on the race course. He has been told that Tom Thompson is in the lower corner and way off the race course. This young kid is absolutely fearless. He's got a lead foot and he has got his sights set on a national championship, and it now starts for him. Qualifying for the first race of the year. He wants 100 points. To do that, he's going to have to turn a fast lap here faster than anybody else does. And Jimmy Shane is still hanging out over there in the pit area and in the home street. So lots of votes he's got to beat. He knows he's got to go out now and lay down something impressive. Look for something in the 150s. Clearly, with Tom Thompson, he's at a 149. It's going to take 150s middle and above to be atop the ladder here, I would think. We'll find out. Lots of work during the off-season on this boat. They took the decks off. We've got speed here. 156.008. 156.008. Let me go back. It may take more than a high 150s to get atop the ladder. He's now going after his own 2.5 mile Guntersville record because he just broke Tom Thompson's record from 1 lap ago.
156.008.
See what line he takes for the corner. Again, he can go anywhere he wants to go. He can stay tight on the buoy row or go out like he did there to about lane number 3. Keep the RPM up. Lap number 2 of 3. Just about to be put in the books. Looking for something north of 156. 157.050. So there's his quickest lap so far. He's got one more.
I say it wrong?
It was 157.070. Can't do colors, and apparently numbers are a challenge too. Top end of the race course, he will come down. Now you're going to see a checkered flag come up because this is a completion of 3 laps for Andrew Tate. You want to vote to root for? You want a favorite? This is somebody you can root for. Great kid, Andrew Tate. All under control. Great run for Andrew. 157.886. That's his fastest of the 3. 157.886. Oh, this is where I wish I had the qualifying ladder from Tri-Cities last year, because that would have been pretty darn close to the top. I know we pushed a $160 there last summer, but that is a quick time around the race course. Great run. Andrew Tate, Delta Rio track, the U9.
We're looking forward to here's what's going on with this. Oh, wait, I can't do it.
So if Andrew Tate was number 2 in national high points, that means somebody was number 1. And when you are number 1, you get to carry boat number 1. The boat hails from Madison, Indiana. It is owned by the citizens of Madison, Indiana. In 1969, the Miss Madison raced here on Lake Guntersville, but now it's got the commercial sponsorship of Home Street Bank, and Jimmy Shane is on the clock. That was a great example right there. Just as he got across start-finish line, you could actually hear the sponson slap on the water. That's what that sound was. When we used to run the Merlin-powered and the Griffin-powered and the Allison-powered boats with the piston engine, there was so much noise you couldn't hear. Then these hair dryers came along, and all of a sudden we could hear the contact being made between the boat and the water. So Jimmy Shane's off the corner really quick, running hard up the backstretch. Water conditions right now are terrific. At least they are right here. I can't speak for what they are at the top end of the course. But Jay Shane at the top of the turn. He's at the apex of the corner. What line does he like through? Just about the same thing Andrew did, except maybe a little bit wider. Shooting for a 1.5, our top was a 1.57.886. Tate was 1.57.8. Shane, he's across. Did he beat him? 1.50.670. 1.50.670. Don't be fooled. Come on, Jimmy. You've seen the course, you've seen the water conditions now. That first lap, now he knows what he's up against. He knows where he can make up time. Don't be surprised if there's not a big jump in his speed here. This is only the second laps, second time on this course anybody's done it, so they're still learning their way around. Andrew Tate sitting atop with a 157.886. Shane, pretty much the same line through the corner this time. 5-time defending national high point champion. Home Street Bank, AKA Miss Madison, with 2 in the books. $149 and change. I forgot the numbers already. Oh, you've got them. 149.268. 149.268. Now watch this. You'll blister a $1.60 and turn everybody's head in the park. Come on, Jimmy. Make me look good, buddy. These guys did not have a lot of testing time, so, you know, part of it is you're guessing on a combination that's going to work. And it may just be the case of one of the guys guessing right and one maybe not guessing quite as right as the other one. But we'll find out here in a minute because Jimmy Shane is across. He's going to be our 3rd qualifier. Shane gets the checkered flag, lap number 3. $154.421. 154.421. If you look over there in the pit area, see Andrew Tate, you see the smile over there? Our defending national high point champion is going to end the day in something other than the first place. Somehow there's a long way to go. It's only one time through. Okay, so forget everything I said. Jimmy's not done for the night yet, maybe. Is that close enough? I think I hit that one right. Okay, there is a chance. It's all timing, and it's because of the schedule and everything we've gone through. Normally what we do, everybody gets 2 opportunities to come out and run. So Jimmy would be able to go back, put his boat on the trailer and say, I don't like that gear combination, give me that other one, and come out here and run it again.
They're starting with the other
I don't know if we're going to be able to get that second chance. I thought it was just going to be one time for sure, but after the GPs, if we've got time, we're going to run them again.
So we're just trying to do as much as we can with the time frame that we've got.
Out there ready to mix them now. So.
Okay, just let me know.
We're standing by. Are you ready to go?
All right, we're over here in the pits with Andrew Tate. Andrew, I heard 157. Was that the run? That would put you up on the top of the leaderboard so far in qualifying.
So far, so good. The U9 Delta Real Track boat performed really well. The backstretch, even though these are the best conditions we've had all weekend, it's still lumpy out there, and the boat pretty much performed flawlessly. Went over the rough stuff, great, going up the back chute. I only really had to back off a couple times, which is perfect. You drive the boat with your left foot and fly over the bad water.
Yeah, and you said water conditions are better. There's Tom Thompson walking by us right now from the U11 team.
Yeah, they are definitely better. Coming down the front chute, you can let it eat. I'm still getting a little flighty here at the end of the straightaway before we turn the boat, but he's got to be on top of it. Like I said earlier, rough conditions, a little bit of wind, no big deal. I accept the challenge. I think it makes things more interesting for everyone. So the more variables, the better, in my opinion.
We're just excited to see boats in the water and going fast.
Absolutely. Guntersville deserves a show, and hopefully we can provide that for them as long as the weather stays like this, we're going racing.
People treating you all right here?
Absolutely wonderful. The nicest people in the world. The hospitality has been awesome. We had a great dinner last night at the yacht club and met some really nice people. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the weekend and the future of this venue and this race.
Yeah, so are we. Now, Andrew, what's likely going to be the case with your team tonight? What are they going to be working on?
Yeah, I'm like to call myself the meat in the seat. I don't have too much say-so on what changes are being made. I come back and provide input as far as what the boat's doing. We have a great crew here. The Campbell brothers know exactly what they're doing, along with their supporting cast. So with my input, we game plan, and they come up with the changes and what we're going to do, and every time the boat seems to go a little faster, so we couldn't be happier right now.
Yeah, a lot of times what happened, well, not a lot of times, all the time at race sites, typically you get to take some test runs so you can try a few things out, get up to speed, see how the course is, get your bearings. Next time out, you go out for qualifying, try to get the fastest speeds, and you've got one of the fastest, if not the fastest boat of the weekend, along with the U1 here. And then we go into heat racing. The fact that you've had less time on the water, does that make any difference when you go into actually racing?
I like it. Like I said, the more variables, the better. Besides Aaron Salmon, who's a rookie this year, I have the least amount of unlimited experience. So these guys all have 10 years of notes at every other race course we go to. Here, it's fair game. We're starting from scratch. And like I said, less time for everyone to learn it and get to go racing and learn as we go. So
Even playing field.
That's right.
Yeah, we're hoping that Aaron Salmon in the 99.9 can get some water time. He still needs to get in his 15 laps for qualifying. 10 of those laps have to be over 130 miles an hour. He can race this weekend. If the judges let him, he'll race a little bit behind everybody and way to the outside. You've had to do that before. That makes for a pretty rough ride, doesn't it?
Yeah, we had to do that in Madison. Starting behind these boats, you can see the rooster tails are absolutely gigantic. And there's no such thing as a no wake zone out there. If you're behind one of these boats, the wakes are ginormous and they will kind of beat you up if you have to go through them. So starting behind everyone is a disadvantage as far as right off the bat, you're obviously behind everyone, but you don't have that smooth water that you'd have out front.
Well, congratulations. Top of the leaderboard so far, and we'll check in with you later this weekend.
Thank you.
Warm tonight, the sky is starlit and the time is right. Still you're telling me you have to go. Before you leave, there's something you should know. Yeah, something you should know, babe.
are the same. Entirely different weather conditions. You wouldn't believe this in the state of Washington where it rains every day, right? They get 325 days of sunshine in eastern Washington, and trust me, they get it. And most of them in the summertime are mid to upper 90s, a lot of days in the triple digits. It's basically a desert on the east side of the state of Washington, much different from the Seattle area. So they have to set the boats up entirely different than when they come run down here where the humidity's up higher, and just all kinds of differences that affect how these motors run. What I'm doing now is calling tap dancing, waiting for another boat to come out. We're doing kind of bumping around here, a little awkward, but I think we've got another interview from down in the pit area. So it's Paul Doogie down there, and I think we're going to make the switch here, and if it is, we'll see who Paul's got. Maybe he's got Jimmy Shane for us. Paul, can you hear me?
Yeah, Brad, can you hear me okay? Brad, we're down in the pits. All right, I'm here with Aaron Salmon right now. Aaron is in the 99.9 and does not look like you're going to get out on the course today.
No, yeah, we're just fighting first race of the season, little problems. We got a really green crew to this year, and we'd rather make sure everything is right before you hit the water and damage something that is unnecessary.
Yeah, the tough part, obviously, for you is you need to get your qualifying laps in, and the sooner you can get those in, the sooner you can be to full-fledged racing.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating. I definitely want to get out on the water, but sometimes you got to do the right thing and save the equipment, and that's definitely the call for it right now.
Absolutely. The cost of these machines is incredible. We don't even like to talk about that sometime. And for the owners, they've got a lot invested in it, so you've got to make sure the equipment stays safe.
Oh, exactly. And, this boat just came through a massive repair, too, so we want to do a nice test run and come back and make sure everything's happy and where it needs to be.
That's great. Aaron, thank you for hanging out with us. I'll check up with you later in the weekends. I'm going to try to, Brad, if I've got just a minute, I'm going to try to go down and talk to the U-21 guys. I know they've been making some repairs on that boat. Looked a little superficial in the beginning, but they've been spending a fair amount of time on it. Let's see if we can grab somebody and talk about that. Hey, Brian. Yeah, I've got Brian Perkins here. Brian, can you tell us, he's got the blow dryer in his hand right now. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you're having to do to the boat?
Well, we had a little bit of delamination underneath the sponson here, underneath the recovery and the runner. So we've ground everything away down to we've got some balsa core under here, and we're going to put 6 or 7 layers of some carbon and fiberglass and bag her all back on there and hopefully be ready to go in the morning.
Yeah, so will you guys be working late into the night on this?
I don't think so. I mean, we've got most of the hard stuff is done. We've got everything ground and prepped, and the guys over there getting the material all cut out. We should have this Paine West boat wrapped up tonight with maybe a final sand in the morning.
Yeah, I got to ask you this question. Was that you in the suit that looked like the guys from Breaking Bad?
It's all black, yeah.
I thought so. All right, Brian. Good luck. You should be on the water tomorrow, right?
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
All right, Brad, back to you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Good stuff down there in the pit area. I know we've been making it almost as difficult as possible to talk back and forth. So by my watch, well, let's see. I won't look at my watch because my watch says it's 5 minutes after 3. My phone says it's 2 minutes after 5. So we've got about 8 minutes. I think we're going to try and hook up with Paul Doogie again down in the pit area, and I think he may be standing by down there with Jimmy Shane. If he is, it would be interesting. Paul, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brad. Can you guys hear me over there?
Wow, look at this two-way communication. Holy cow, we have just put somebody on Jupiter here. This is pretty good stuff. They've been working for 2 days to make this work, and they did it, Paul.
The miracle of modern science. Hey, we're here with Jimmy Shane, who just told me he's going to try to head back out onto the course shortly.
Yeah, I think they're going to run a couple heats of Grand Prix here, so you guys will get to see a couple heat races before the big boats get to come back out. But the Miss Home Street had a good run in the qualifying session. That was about as fast as I wanted to run in those conditions. So there's a little bit left in her, and I was saving a little bit for the second time out. So hopefully I was hoping the water conditions will get a little bit better. And it looks like they are starting to even settle down more than they have been. So hopefully the Miss Home Street can come out and run a quicker lap next time out.
Yeah, no, obviously you don't want to give away any secrets, but will you change setups, try something different, or is it just a matter of getting used to the course?
No, we're forever changing. The course is set up a little funky right now with the 3 buoy turns, but we all have to race in it. So I'm going to have to find the best path around those corners with what we got out there. And it's going to be a good end to the day here because you're going to see boats on the water.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was talking to Andrew Tate a little earlier, he said he was kind of excited that nobody got a ton of time out in the course because you guys all have more seat time than he does, and he thought it evened the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty even this weekend. None of us have timing marks from this course from before, so it's new to everybody, and that's going to be good for all the teams and drivers. So it's going to be an exciting day. Tomorrow is going to be a day packed full of racing. And I'm really looking forward to a great show for the fans in Guntersville tomorrow as well.
Yeah, tomorrow they'll try to get in as much racing as possible. If you haven't seen an unlimited race, one of the things that's actually really exciting is about the 5 minutes before the race, the milling period, as they call it, as the boats kind of slice and dice through the course to set up so they can try to hit that start line at full speed.
Yeah, it's actually called a race before the race. We have a 5-minute window where we get to warm up the boats, get settled in with the conditions that are out on the water, but then when you get down to the 2-minute mark before the start of the race, that's when you're going to see a lot of jockeying for positions, boats cutting in and out of the race course, trying to set themselves up for the ever-popular inside lane. The inside lane is always the fastest way around the course because it's the shortest way around the course. So there's a lot of fighting for lane 1 here starting tomorrow.
Yeah, and even though it's not like a race track where you can see the lane markings, there are lane positions, and that's to keep the boat safe. If everybody tries to go into the same lane, you're going to have obviously a problem. But if you're stuck in the outside, if you mistime things, you've got a long way around that course. So obviously the inside lane, although you've won from outside lanes before.
Yeah, it helps when you have really good equipment too. But one of the unique things about the sport of hydroplane racing is we have 100-foot walls of water behind us. So that makes the lane choice and the fight for the lanes even that more important because that rooster tail is a tool for us as drivers. It's really hard to see. It kind of separates the boats a little bit because if you get too close to it, it's going to affect your boat ride. And if you get into it, it's bad news for the other boats. So that we use that rooster tail as a tool as a driver to definitely give us an advantage on the race course.
Sure. So it's not like NASCAR where you can kind of draft somebody.
Drafting is not recommended in hydroplane racing. It's usually going to end in a bad day.
Yeah, no. And if you get washed down, obviously you got other problems, and that becomes an impediment for everybody else, and they've got to go around any boat that's down, and that's obviously not a good thing as well.
No, obviously it's not. And with the season that we have with hydroplane racing, every heat is very important. So if you get caught up in a rooster tail and you lose up to 400 points in a heat, that will affect the rest of your season, and you have to overcome that disadvantage.
Right. Well, the way the sport's set up, every heat becomes critical, especially if you're looking at that national championship, which you guys are every year.
Yes, that's our main goal with the Miss Home Street racing team is the national championship. It's a culmination of all the points and all the races strung together. And it really is a sign of commitment, consistency, and really just being smart at the right time on the race course and not over driving or over pushing what is given to you by either Mother Nature or the other drivers out there.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. We'll be excited to see you back out, see if you can top that score and get back top the leaderboard tonight.
Thank you very much.
Jimmy. He is one articulate young man, Brad. And for those who don't know, Jimmy works at Blue Origin, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, the Amazon guy, and they are technology. So we started this talking about miracles of modern science. This guy actually is I don't know if he's a rocket scientist, but he's a rocket engineer for sure. Brad, back to you.
Great to have Jimmy Shane. Great job, Paul. And he is an extremely articulate young man. And when you talk about things and say it's not rocket science when it comes to Jimmy Shane, you are right. Working for Blue Origin, it is rocket science. So on my watch, Paul, you should have Grand Prix hydroplanes headed toward the water over there because by my watch, we pretty much have reached the 5 minutes or 10 minutes after 5. So that's the end of our qualification session, first round for H1 Unlimiteds. Next up is our first heat of racing for our Grand Prix boats. You should have boats heading into the water. Can you hear me, Paul?
Yeah, Brad, I can. Are you up? Are we in communication here?
Yes, you got me. I was scrambling there when you were finishing with Jimmy Shane because all of a sudden I realized, oh, wait, we're going racing. And, of course, I lost my stopwatch, but I got it. We're good.
Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats in the water. Dockside, we've got the GP20 at Preston's boat. We have the Wiggins 27 Grand Prix. We've got the GP55. We have, looks like the world's fastest grandpa, Jerry Hopp in his boat. And then we have the 14, I believe it is.
You should have the...
A little tough to see. What are you seeing, Brad?
I don't know about the... I don't know.
74.
The 74, are they in the water?
Yeah, the 74. Sorry, got my 1s and 7s mixed up there.
Minor detail.
But they're all chomping at the bit. Most of them have not had any seat time on the water except for Ed Preston in the 20. So they are anxious to get going. A little bit of calm right here on the dock, but we've got all the canopies open as they're making last-minute adjustments, getting everybody set up. The drivers are all in the boat, and they are ready to go, Brad.
Okay, so I'm going to stay with me here, Paul, because I've got to stand in a particular spot so I can hear you, and I've got to set a watch. And I want to explain to these people about what is going to go on. The rundown I had for this heat, and I don't know if you have it by boat number, but what I had was the 55, the 15, the 20, the 27, and the 74. Does that sound right?
I do not. I've got the 20, the 27, the 55.
Yep.
Let me walk down the dock and just make sure I've got the right numbers
and
here.
Then you should have Papa Hop, the 15, low-profile yellow boat.
Yep, 15.
And then the 74.
And, yes, the 74.
We actually match. That's right, in no particular order. Okay. I am going to step around to the front of the official stand. I'm going to explain to these folks what's going to go down because we're about to go racing. We're going to do it on a 5-minute clock. How close are we, Doug Shelton? We're getting pretty close? Okay, we are about 3 to 4 minutes from the 5-minute mark. These are all coming out at the same time. We're going to have a 3-lap race. Okay, here's what's going to happen in 2 or 3 minutes. And we've seen how my timing's been working so well today. But, and the man who gives me the timing is up there smiling at me now. Yeah, watch him set me up again. Here's what's going to go down. We're going to have our first heat of Grand Prix. There's 5 boats coming out. They're all coming out together. You saw the smaller race course they run on. If you were listening, we just ran down the numbers. We're coming up on 5 to the 5. Okay, 5 to the 5, that's boat lingo for 5 minutes to the 5-minute gun. Anybody know what that was? It's 10. We're on top of it. We got it. So we're coming up on a countdown to 5 to the 5, so we've got a minute. I thought we were getting closer to that. 2, 1, mark. 5 minutes to the 5-minute gun. So, Doug, okay, we got a clock running. When can they come out on the race course? Okay. There was a question about when the boats could come out on the race course. Typically, it's at the 5-minute mark, but those boats are in southern Florida or something over there. It's a ways to get across here, but they can't carry as much fuel, so they're not going to come out until the 5-minute mark. So at the 5-minute mark, which will be in 4 minutes and some odd seconds from now, all of our boats will come out on the race course. Now, what they're going to do, you're going to see the milling period. The boats they can cut across the race course. I don't know if we'll see much of that. But the idea is at the end of 5 minutes, you want to have your boat on that start-finish line right here in front of the tower at full boat speed at the moment the clock ticks 0. They are fighting for lanes, so the lanes are not assigned. So when they come out, that's where they start keying off one another. You heard Jimmy Shane just talking in here about the fact that the shortest way around the race course is clearly on the inside lane. If you're going to be in that inside lane running into turn 1, don't be late, because it's going to get real wet down there for you. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. If you're going to be on the inside lane, that's great, but you better be on time and don't be the last one down to the entrance pin of the quarter. Then we're going to go 3 laps. So 3-lap, a sprint heat here. We'll get a checkered flag, and we'll have our first heat of racing in 49 years here. I'm excited. It's Grand Prix racing, 5 boats. We'll keep an eye on the clock. And somewhere, one of my notes tells me who's in this heat. We'll see if we get the right one. You're not in the heat, Nick. Nicky's not in the heat. This probably doesn't help everybody that I have the boat numbers, so let's go find some. I don't know the Grand Prix boats by number. Coming up on 2 minutes and 45 seconds to the 5, 2:45 to the 5 and counting. So Jamie Nielsen is going to come out here in boat number 55. It is all black. Papa Hop. Jerry, not the youngster. This is Jerry, the man who's got 2 artificial hips and 3 or 4 other artificial things in his body, but he just keeps coming out here. He can handle his race boat. It's boat number 15. It is a very low-profile yellow boat. The boat with maybe the best name here this weekend. It is GP20. The name of the boat, Blown Income. Gotta like that. They've got some of the best teamwear here this weekend. We've also got Cal Phipps driving for Milton Charlie Wiggins. That's boat number 27. And then our boat number 74. This is going to be the all-white boat, the one that I said was a different design than the others. It is driven by Rob Hall, he out of Sandpoint, Idaho. Coming up on a minute 30 to the 5. Coming up on a minute 30 to the 5. Mark, 1 minute 30 seconds to the 5-minute gun. Again, everything happens on that timer. That's not going to change, and if it does, these guys behind me are going to say, Brad, we've stopped the clock, we've stopped the countdown. It's not like a moon launch, but if there was a problem, if something was not safe on the course, there was a safety hazard, they would stop the countdown. So we're coming up on that all-important 2, 1, mark. 1 to the 5, 1 to the 5. We have a hard time saying and figuring out numbers above 5, so in boat racing we keep it 5 to the 5 and 3 to the 5, and then we don't have to work with the big numbers. Where has this weather been? Holy smoke, all of a sudden it's warm. This feels great. I need my sunglasses. This is awesome. All right, we are coming up on a 5-minute mark. Coming up on 20 seconds to the 5. At the 5-minute mark, they will come out. You'll see them come across the race course, and we will start the 5-minute, a.k.a. the milling period. We'll get the official countdown here. Mark. Oh, boy. We just had a complete power outage here on start finish. You didn't get a countdown. I had it, but everything just went black on the clock. We're going to restart the countdown. They will not. What's he going to? They're going to restart it and go back to 1 to the 5. See, I told you it's not going to stop, and all I have to do is say it, and it happens. So that was me. I guess I jinxed that one. It's just what we do. All right, we got our clock back, and if you haven't seen this clock, it is brand spanking new. Huh? All right, we're coming up on 20 seconds to the 5. 20 seconds to the 5. We had a little clock issue. We're inside that. We're now to 15 seconds to the 5. All right. That was the 5-minute mark, and clearly I had some help. All you had to do was kind of listen down. Holy cow, that thing's bright. Can we run the race over here? Put my back. That is awesome. All right, let's go, guys. Waiting for 5 Grand Prix hydroplanes. The one surprise boat that's in there is the boat they call Premonition. It's all white. Rob Hall's boat. He was having some issues, and we thought he might not make it in the heat, but then he was able to say he would make it. We're looking for an all-white boat, the Staudacher hull. He, Rob Hall, out of Sandpoint, Idaho. Again, our drivers, the 55, it's all black. It's got checkers on the back decking. It is Jamie Nielsen driving for Scott Pierce. You got the low-profile yellow hydroplane. That's driven by Papa Hop. That's Jerry Hop out of Snohomish. Bone Income Racing, boat number 20. That's Ed Preston at the wheel. Boat number 27, Cal Phipps, doing double duty this weekend, driving both the H1 Unlimited and the Grand Prix. 3 minutes and 50 seconds to our start. We've got 5 boats that are coming. I see 5 Rooster Tails coming across the lake. And then rounding out our field is Rob Hall in boat number 74. 3 minutes and 40 seconds, 3:40 to the start. And at 3:40 seconds, they are going to want to be at the start-finish line at full song. Grand Prix Racing. Jerry Hop going to come around first. No youngster. We're fighting for lanes, but he'll be in 1, he'll be in 2, he'll be in... Here comes Cal Phipps. On the inside, that was Jamie Nielsen, the 4th boat down, and then that white boat on the outside was Rob Hall. Still waiting for Ed Preston. That's got to be Ed coming around the top of the corner. He was the last one around. Coming up on 2:30 to our start. So here's Ed Preston. Driving boat number 20, the Blown Income. This is the milling period. Grandpa Hop in his middle 70s to the corner. There comes Nielsen, there comes Phipps, and there comes Hall. Now you see the maneuver. We had the boat cut the race course and jump over to the backside to get on the inside lane. A legal maneuver. That's part of the milling period. That's the fight for lane 1 on the inside. Coming up on a $140, 142 hour start. These guys do not have to maintain a particular speed. So we'll call them as they come around. Jamie Nielsen is sitting in lane number 1. It appears as though Jerry Hop is in 2, but a lot can still change. We still got 20 seconds to the 1 minute gun. 1:20, 2 hour start. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute to our start. So the next time they will come by, we will be racing. Do not cross the start-finish line buoy before the clock ticks to 0. I'm going to try and outshout 6 supercharged, 420 plus cubic inch automotive-powered Dragons. 40 seconds to the start. Guntersville Racing is back on Lake Guntersville, and it is high time. Ed Preston is falling off the pace. Ed Preston's going to head back to the pit area. Going to be a 4-boat start. Looking at the clock at 25 seconds until our start. Check the lanes. It's going to be Nielsen in 1. Hop is going to be in 2. Cal Phipps is going to be in 3. On the outside, it's going to be Rob Hall. Checking the clock inside 15 seconds. Coming up on 11, 10, 9 seconds. Now they got to time this right. We're 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and it's going to be Nielsen. Nielsen was first across the line, but he didn't have a lot of boat speed. But he also had lane position on lane number 1. It's going to be Jamie Nielsen in the 55. Going to come out. Remember, we're going to go 3 times around. He's got company right with him, and it looks like it might be. Yes, it is. It's Cal Phipps. Phipps is right with him. They're dead even up the backstretch. Phipps is on the outside. It's Nielsen on the inside on the first of 3 times around the race course. Giving lots of room up there. Staying wide is Cal Phipps. Jamie Nielsen's going to come down with a lead at lap number 1. Cal Phipps has a carload of boat speed in that 27. We've got a great race for first and second, and we got a good race runner for second and third. Now see if Phipps can run him down. He showed a lot of shoot speed on the front straightaway in lap 1. Here he comes. There's Phipps. The local boat is out front. And now Nielsen steps on it and answers the challenge. It's Phipps and Nielsen takes him way wide off the buoy row. Oh, and it's going to be Calvin. Cal Phipps coming down. He'll lead lap number 2 with 1 to go. He's driving a mighty big race course. He being Cal Phipps, so where did Cal go? We lost Calvin. Calvin in the Greater Gadsden Area Tourism boat, but he just didn't turn. He completely missed the corner. Way down there. And so it is now all Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen will come down and pick up the checkered flag. I have no idea. Oh, he lost the boat. He drove it off the course. He's dead in the water down there. Here comes your winner, Jamie Nielsen. He'll pick up our first victory. Now we got a good race coming up here for second place. Going to be Papa Hop on the outside. Going to be Rob Hall on the outside. And Jerry will take second place. All right, now We talked about flags a little earlier. You see a black flag out here. That is a signal to the drivers. Head back to the pit area. Cal Phipps, I'm not sure what happened, if he got lost on a race course or knew something was wrong and went ahead and shut it down. He is right at the entrance pin of the at the U-boats, the Unlimiteds, and the boat is down in the water. And doggone it, because he was going to come off that lower corner, and he is definitely showing more shoot speed than Jamie Nielsen was in the 55. And I thought maybe we were going to see the local boat, sponsored by the Greater Gadsden Area Tourism Group, would have been a good win. Okay, that was kind of fun. I say we fuel them up and let's do it again, but I don't think that's going to happen. Tomorrow morning. That works. Okay, so we're going to clear Phipps from the course down there, and we are going to come back with a second session of H1 Unlimited. Jimmy Shane's going to get another pop at Andrew Tate. Cal Phipps, they need to get Cal, who didn't run in the U-27, the Unlimited boat. He's sitting down there. They got to get Cal back to the pit area, and if the U-27 boat is going to make a run in this second qualifying stand, he needs to get back, get something cold to drink, and jump into the cockpit of that boat. That's what happens when you're doing double duty. But those are easy to call because you get a break. When they get to there, all the way down to there, and say anything, nobody can hear you anyway. It's really funny. It's not really funny. You gonna go? You gonna go? Well, I'm hoping.
On a Sunday morning with
It was our Grand Prix, and our Grand Prix boats, with the exception of Cal Phipps, have returned to the pit area. And I'm hoping, Paul Doogie, that you can hear me down there, and maybe you've had an opportunity to catch up with our first heat winner in 49 years here on Lake Guntersville. I'm assuming you would have a happy Jamie Nielsen.
I do have Jamie Nielsen here. Can you hear us, Brad?
I gotcha.
All right, let's throw it right to Jamie Nielsen. I saw some high fives coming in. Always nice to get the first one in the books.
Oh, yeah, that one feels really good, especially being the first race of the season. These guys have worked so hard all winter to get this thing here, get it running. Had a little challenge there in testing, and these guys worked nonstop to get this just in the water for this heat. So this win definitely goes to the crew and the owners. So
yeah, I would hope the fans on the shore got a good earful of what these boats sound like. They are loud, they are fast, and they are fun to watch.
Yeah, how about those Grand Prix, huh? They're a lot of fun. They're super fast, and Cal had a fast boat out there, man. It took everything I had to hold them off. So they got we definitely got to watch for them as the weekend goes on. But this GP55 team, they're they've showed that they can overcome a lot of hurdles here. So we're really looking forward to the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, what do you need to do tonight?
You know, tonight's going to be maintenance. We're going to look at the data, and hopefully we can squeeze some more speed out of this thing as we keep going along.
Looked plenty fast to me. How fast were you going, do you think?
Boy, I bet we're getting close to 140, 145 or so. So we'd like to be going faster. So we'll see. By Sunday evening, I think you'll see a little bit more out of us.
Yeah, once you have a little more water time, a little chance to assess the course, you'll have a chance to look at the data. You'll be able to make some adjustments. But congratulations. Heat 1 in the books. Winner, Jamie Nielsen, GP 55. Good show for the fans. Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks a lot.
Great job, Paul. And while I got you on the hook, and we're actually experiencing two-way communication here, have you got some H1 Unlimiteds in the water down there? I'm hearing that there are 5 boats that want to go. I'm staring at my watch, and we're past 5:30, and we've only got the water till 6.
Yeah, I do not have anybody in the water. It looks like they're trying to put the crane onto the U9 right now. I don't really see anybody else, though, that's hooking up. The cranes are still tied up. The rest of them pulling the GPs out of the water at this time, Brad.
Well, that's true. They've got to get the GPs out, but I would think you can float some GPs for a minute and throw some U-boats in, but I'll let the pit boss handle that stuff. We got enough going on over here. Good. Well, anyway, if things change down there, Paul, let us know. Great job talking with Jamie Nielsen, and we've had our first heat of racing here. It was fun. It was loud, and people now know what GP boats sound like. So let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll play some music here. We are going to go till 6 o'clock. We are anticipating the arrival of the U9 with Andrew Tate, the U1 with Jimmy Shane. Radio man Nick Bonancini has been up here for basically the last hour. I got to believe he's expecting their boat to come out. Kelly Stockland's here. You going to come out in the 440? He's nodding his head. Yep. They're going to come out and run. So I think you're going to have some activity down there, Paul. But meanwhile, let's play some music. We'll have H1 Unlimiteds on the water momentarily. Guys? Got it? There we are. Okay. So we've got the water till 6. I'm told the 9 is in the water. That's Andrew Tate. I'm told the 1's coming. And I'm told that the first one in the water gets to go first. We'll see how well that works out. But clearly, and the 440 we know wants to go as well. Looks like it's those 3, and you can see the 2 radio men here standing down to my left. One's wearing blue, one's wearing, I guess that'd be red and yellow or orange and yellow. Making his way down. He may be first. Maybe Andrew. All right, apparently we got a couple of boats in the water, so I'm of the opinion, let's go. But before we do that, I'll take a moment just personally and on behalf of everybody here at the Hydrofest for 2018 and the Race for the Southern Cup, thank everybody for coming down today. Hope everybody will be here tomorrow because we've got a lot of racing to get in the books. Don't worry about the fact that we were supposed to run Heat 1A and 1B. That just cut it. Okay. We were supposed to run 1A and 1B for the Unlimiteds today and then Heat 2A and B, 3A and B tomorrow. Back in the day, like 1969, I keep pointing back to the Budweiser, when that boat ran, we used to always run all our heats on race day, just one day. So we do that a lot. We do it at the Gold Cup still this year. So that's not an issue. We can get the racing in. So tomorrow should be action-packed. If you wake up and you see this stuff going on, come on down. But I want to thank everybody for being here today. At the amount of people that were here, and I thought, wow, there's a lot of people here, and just factor in the part that 11 o'clock we told you all to go home. And you all came back, so this is terrific. So, but tomorrow's the big show, but we still got, this could work out really well. As a fan, what we want to happen here is we want Jimmy Shane to come out and knock down Andrew Tate's time. Because if he does, the moment Jimmy starts back to that dock, you'll see Andrew come back and try and get his top speed back. This happens every once in a while. It makes for some very interesting qualifying. I'm told the 1's ready. And I see the 1 coming. I'm assuming that's the 1. We got the 1? I'm getting thumbs up. Jimmy Shane. So, my intrepid scorekeeper over here is going to advise me what the target is. And the target is a 157.886. That's the magic number. Andrew Tate has posted the fastest time at 157.886. He sits atop the qualification ladder. It's worth 100 points to him. Second place gets 80. Jimmy is going to come out here like a rocket ship. He's got great-looking water conditions. He's in search of something better than 157.8. And if he gets it, Tate will be on this course in a heartbeat. So watch Jay Shane now as he's going to come out here in a late afternoon sun. Perfect water conditions. Jimmy Shane, the U1 Miss Madison Home Street Bank, and we'll put him on a clock. They've had about an hour to work on that boat and see if they can squeeze about 6 or 7 more miles an hour out of it Trust me, it's in there. It just sometimes takes a while to find. That big wall of water off that left side skid fin as Jimmy comes off the lower corner. Now it's all about acceleration. He comes off that corner about 125, 130 miles an hour. And then it's how fast can he get it up to 175 or 180 miles an hour, which he gets to about now as he starts to set himself up for the upper corner. He sees that entrance pin coming. There it is. Hangs it on the hook. That's that skid fin. That's terminology. Hang it on the hook. Get it through the corner. Coming out to about, well, a little tighter than he did last time. He was running a little bit wider line. I think we're going to find out real quick if Shane and the Home Street Bank crew, Cindy Shirley and the team, could they find some more miles per hour? One up and one down. $159.238 miles an hour. Buckle up, Andrew Tate. We need you out here. We got a couple more laps to go. Shane Dog has come out and laid down a beauty. Look at him rocket down the backstretch. Jimmy's really got it up and running. He's sniffing that 160. Will we see it? Look at the boat ride that he's getting. It is absolutely flawless at the top end of the race course. Big skid fin, wall of water. Sniffing 160. Can we always tight on the buoy road, Jimmy Shane? He's going to save time. Come on, Jay Shane. He has really got it rolling. Got that turbine wound up as high as it'll go. Solid as a rock, Shane. What do we got? 160.433 for Jimmy Shane. He's got one more to go. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate is over there. Buckle me up, guys. Let's go. I got to get back out. Look at Jimmy Shane. You don't think the crew did anything? Maybe in that hour and a half they found something. Different combination, different gearbox, maybe a different propeller. Just solid as a rock, Jimmy Shane. We've seen our first 160. Will it be the last? Gonna go out wide this time. It's a bigger course. That'll take more time. May not be quite as quick as the last one, but he'll take that first 160 because Tate's gonna have to find 2.5 more miles an hour. Third lap, checkered flag. Jimmy Shane, top qualifier. 160.119. So his second lap, I believe, was the fastest. No, this is when you have to say it. What was it?
160.433.
160. Said with a nice southern drawl. You like that? That sounds a whole lot better than I say it. Nice job, Nikki Bonancini. I told you to go out there and do it, and you did it. Nikki talked him around the race course. That's Jimmy Shane's brother-in-law down there. He is the radio man to his good friend and brother-in-law, Jimmy Shane. Andrew? Hopefully we got Andrew. But we got the 440 that wants to go too. Where is Kelly? Is Kelly here? Yeah, Kelly's here. So I don't know who's next. You didn't find a driver. Wow. It was a 160 point what? So I was using last year's Tri-Cities race course. The 160.7 is kind of a high water mark, and okay, where were we? Andrew Tate, top qualifier, Tri-Cities last year, 160.7. That was a 160.4. That is absolutely the blink of an eyelash. Huh? All right. We wanted it. We got it. Andrew. Here comes Tater. This is his opportunity. I'm telling you, it is worth some points. They're going to come out of here, one of them with 100 points and one of them with 80 points. Tater wants the 100 points. And if you're on the fence about coming down here tomorrow, picture those two boats side by side for 5 laps, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be these two guys going deck to deck. Andrew Tate, Walled Lake, Michigan. He will come down here, second national high points, flies the boat a little bit, put Tate on the clock in a U9, Delta Real Track. Come on, Andrew, show us what you got. Down to the lower corner. Now he hangs it on the hook. Look at that big wall of water come up as he's moving away from you. Sometimes on these types of race courses, it's how fast you can get in and out of the corner. Sometimes it's all about the corner. On this race course, because of the longer straightaways and the wider corners, it is all about maintaining speed through the corner. They'll set their prop combinations up with their gearboxes to make them run hard and run fast. This is a long race course with a lot of speed on it. We go to Seattle, and you see on a 2-mile race course, you'll see a qualification run of 150, 151, and that's as fast as it gets. But on this nice bigger race course here, 2.5 miles, Tate running a wide line through the corner, going to come down and put his first one in the books. He's already qualified at 157.8 miles an hour, but he needs a 160. Keep the nose down, Andrew. Flies it as he completes lap number 1. We'll see if he's got it. 157.756. Come on, Andrew. See if he doesn't tighten up the corner a little bit, because he gave up some ground and some speed up on that end. Notice the boat ride, too. The boat's just not quite as solid as Shane Dog was when he was there. Just how the boat is moving, which means also that Andrew's making very little contact with the water, which is a good thing. But I can tell you right now, this kid's having more fun than you were supposed to have. As I talked to him last night, he was chomping at the bit to get out here. Sliding out a little bit again, not as wide as he did the last time. This one might be a little bit quicker, but he needs 3 more miles an hour. Oh, don't be picking up that right Sponson. 158.626, 158.626. Andrew, stop picking up that right side Sponson. I don't need to see the bottom of the boat. This is it. Ooh, he's flying a little bit coming out of the corner there. If it starts to get away from him and he has to pull his foot, even for a moment, that's enough not to get to the top of the ladder. I still want to see him tighten up this corner up here. Now, it sounded like he pulled his foot a little bit there at the top end. Come on, Andrew. Tighten it up. This is it. We'll have our qualification ladder set at least at the top spot here. Is it Tate? Is it Shane? Is it Tate? Is it Shane? Tate puts 3 in the books. $156,942. Somebody over here said he pulled his foot, and you guys are right on it. That's exactly what he did. The top end of the race course, not sure why. Maybe the boat started to get away from him a little bit, but 156. He upped his qualifying speed by about 2 or 3/10 of a mile an hour because he did improve his speed. But once again, Jimmy Shane, at the end of the day, is sitting at the top of the ladder with 100 points, and Tater's got 80. Now, how important is that? It's not the end of the world because a heat win is worth 400 points. Second place is 300. There's only a 20-point difference, but I tell you what, they all add up, and they wanted it. Doug, we got anybody else coming? And that, what? Not yet, but we still have the course. We still have the course for another 4 or 5 minutes right now. We don't have anybody. Where's Kelly? Are you going to go? Kelly's going to go. Kelly says yes. Kelly Stockland's been boat racing a long time, young man. A long, long time. I know we've got the, hey guys, Rob, nice job. Thank you. Jamie, good job. Oh, I lost my speaker. Where'd my speaker go? I think Paul Doogie has got what I am going to assume is a very happy Jimmy Shane
Yes.
in the pit area. Paul, can you hear me?
I can, Brad. Are we up?
I guess I would assume the young man from the Pacific Northwest has got a pretty big smile on his face.
He does. A lot of high fives here on the dock. Jimmy Shane picked up a little bit of extra speed there. I still think you're holding back, but we'll see. 160. What was it, Brad? 160 and
Change.
160 and change. Pretty darn fast for any body of water.
Yeah, anytime you get up in the 160s, you're motoring pretty good. So I was hoping exactly for those conditions to be like this later in the day. That's why I really didn't push it in the first one too hard, because I wanted to keep the boat in one piece, and I knew that we still had some more left in it. So luckily it worked out for us, and as long as the data holds and I did my job as the driver and watched all the lights, I think we had a really good qualifying session there.
What lights are you looking for when you're in the cockpit and you're taking a trip around?
So we have N2, which is the second stage of the engine, and you're only allowed to spin it basically so many RPM. So it's basically a rev limiter, and we have lights in the boat to tell us if we're getting close to that limit, that limitation. So we try to push it to the limit and above, and then it's my job as a driver to watch those lights and make sure that we keep it under what is the allowable. But you have to be right there, and you have to see those lights in order to go fast.
Yeah, what we'll see tomorrow when we get into the heat racing is after each race is completed, they'll do a tech inspection, and that's one of the things they'll check for is the N2, and there is a limit to what you can go, and a big part of that is you can blow an engine if you go over that limit too long.
Yes, yeah, I mean, the rules in there is to make the reliability last for the engines. Back in the day when they really were truly unlimited, with first coming through with the turbine engines, they would crank all the settings up on them, and they were really, really fast. But unfortunately, they hurt a lot of equipment, pushing the engine above its typical limitations in the helicopter. So they implemented some rules and restrictions to make sure that we had equipment to run at the races, and everybody would make it through the weekend. And it's our job as teams to try to push it to those limits.
Yeah, the engines Jimmy's talking about in these boats are turbine engines. Most of them came out of Vietnam-era helicopters, and there is a limited supply.
Yeah, it's a limited supply. All the parts are expensive, and they're unique engines. So you don't just go to the store and buy a Chinook Lycoming helicopter engine. So it's when you get a good one, you got to take care of it, maintain it, and that's what the Miss Homestead team has done over the past couple of years.
It's like if you still had a VCR sitting at home, try to get parts for that baby.
We're pretty good at tracking the VCR in the boat. So no, it was a great run for the Miss Homestead. Happy that the fans actually got to see the boats run at full speed. That's what you guys can expect. And tomorrow you'll see 4 to 5 boats side by side running those speeds. So you got to come back tomorrow and see the event here.
Yeah. Well, that was exciting to see you guys out there. Glad we got some boat time. Weather's perfect now.
Weather's perfect.
At the end of the day.
Save the best for the last.
So, Jimmy, thank you. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. We've still got the 440 out on the course. I'm going to walk over here, Brad, if you'll give me just a second, and pick up Andrew Tate, who's right here, and see what he has to say. Andrew, you picked up a little bit of speed there.
A little bit of speed, better water conditions. Nothing for the Home Street guys, though. They were obviously quick.
Yeah, for those of you guys who haven't been over here in the pits, these guys are intense competitors, but they're also friendly. So I'm talking to Jimmy Shane, and Andrew Tate comes by and pats him on the back and says, "Good job."
Yeah, they won today, so congratulations to them. We're going to go play again tomorrow with all the other boats, and that kind of makes things a little more interesting. It's not just pure horsepower, pure speed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The strategy starts coming in tomorrow when you've got all those boats out there. Andrew Tate, appreciate it. Have a good night. Take care of your boat. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks. And Brad, Andrew Tate has, as you said, a smile plastered to his face nonstop. I just think he loves going fast.
Paul, thank you very, very much. You did a great job down there catching our 2 top qualifiers. We had the 440 out here, and every lap that Dustin ran got faster than the previous. I think he went, I don't have the exact numbers. Yes, I do. A 136.9. He followed it up with a 139.0, and the fast lap number 3, 140.265. So good run for Dustin Eccles in the 440. Where's Kelly Stockland? Kelly, if you're still here and can hear me, great job. Congratulations. Turned his lap north of a $140. Oh, there you are, Kelly. Thank you very much. Thank you. Congrats. So, before we go home, I found some Grand Prix drivers over here, so let's start with this guy over here. You were out front, Mr. Nielsen. It always looks good when you're out front. I'm assuming the view's great.
It is. It's what we all dream about as drivers, but it's definitely not easy. There's a lot of good drivers out there, a lot of fast boats, so they're definitely not going to hand it to you, but when it all works out, it definitely feels good.
And you made a nice little maneuver to get into lane 1, and then we saw you cut the course and go over there. What did you do to Cal down there? Did you give him a little hip check?
I gave him a couple throughout the heat, but he just kept hunting me down. My mirrors were full of yellow and purple every straightaway, but they got a fast boat, and they're definitely going to be tough the rest of the weekend. But my guys are going to keep working hard. We got a little bit more left in it for the rest of the weekend, so we're really looking forward to it.
Well, it was a great show. We were looking forward to that last lap, and then all of a sudden you came out of the corner alone. You were able to take that last lap pretty easy. Congratulations. I got a hunch, though, that it's going to get more difficult before it gets any easier. These two guys over here, I'll start with you, Rob. You were on the outside, but the thing was running strong.
Yeah, it was. We had a good time out there in that heat, and I've had so much help from the rest of the guys that it just means the world to me to be able to be here.
Well, we are really glad you're here because we know you came a long way. What's it like to run alongside this guy? Obviously, you trust him to the end of the world at this point.
Absolutely. I've been racing with Jerry a while, and he's the greatest, and I never am concerned when I'm close to him.
And it's always a lot of fun because you know you're going to get your hands full. He's going to give you his best shot.
Absolutely. I know he gives it everything he's got every time he's out there, and that's what all these guys do. And he emulates what fine driving and fine competition is.
And old age. So tell me a little bit about this water because you guys went out earlier and it was ugly, but that looks fabulous.
The water was perfect when we went out there for that heat. And when we went out for our testing, it was rugged. So what a difference. The weather here is very interesting.
Well, and you guys don't know, but I was standing here and I was talking. We were getting times and counting. I turned around. I went, where has that been all weekend? So that's your responsibility for tomorrow. Give us some more of that, will you?
You bet I will.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. And we've been talking about you, and you and I have been talking for way too many years, and we're not going to get into how old who and who is, but you came over here. I said, how are you? And you said, well, I've had my adrenaline rush.
Yeah, that's it. We got the boat out there and got some running going and had a lot of good times. I do have to thank some sponsors that we got here in Guntersville.
Well, I'll just bet you might have them even written down. Don't miss one.
Yes, I do. And we got them just before I went out. The guys came over and says, here, you want to put the name on the boat? And there we were. It's Satterfield, Suede, and Randy Jones stepped up and sponsored both the boats, the GP 18 and the 15. And just so happy to have the community involved and part of this, part of our team. And what I'm really looking forward to is tomorrow. I drew, or the heat we're in tomorrow is my son in the GP12, myself, and the GP18, our other boat. So we're going to be out racing each other. I have to come up with some kind of game plan there. I don't want little pieces of boats.
And it may make for an interesting conversation over dinner. I'm going to throw a question at all three of you here because I know what I have experienced. Anybody, one of you guys want to talk about the experience with these people of Guntersville? They are absolutely outstanding.
It's just been first class. We've been treated with nothing but hospitality and just love the place, love the people. The weather's been a little iffy, but if it stays like this, boy, this is a place to be.
I think you guys would all echo the same sentiment.
Yeah, but the other sponsor that we have here is Foodland.
Foodland.
Yeah, we will work for food, so the whole crew gets fed this weekend, finally.
It's a good thing. Rob, I know you came a long way. Well, we all did. We all came. Do you want to talk something about these folks here, the hospitality? There is something to that Southern hospitality thing.
There's Southern hospitality, and then there's Guntersville hospitality.
That seems to be the line, and there is a difference.
There is a difference, and we have been treated with open arms and just wonderful people here all the way around. Everything we've done is catered to with a smile. Thank you.
No, thank you. And I can tell you, folks here from Guntersville, they're not giving lip service to it. It is really true. We've all experienced it from the Pacific Northwest. We've been treated like royalty. Thanks, guys, for coming over here. Put on the show tomorrow, will you?
You got it.
All right, there we go. Grand Prix. Kelly, thank you very, very much. Now, fans, I don't have a schedule, but we got a lot of racing to do tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for coming down here. I have a little saying I have to say here before we all go home, and I think we've got everything now. We close everything up. I got the boss over here somewhere. Katie? Katie, is there anything we need to do before closing? What time do our gates open tomorrow?
Gates open at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to race all day. Our first heat will be at 10:30 with the GPWs, and then we'll run our first unlimited heat at 11.
There you go. That's straight from the boss. So I'm going to end this the way I always do, as my very good friend in Madison, Indiana likes to say. Everybody be very careful driving home. Let's leave the racing on the water. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night, guys.